Hello humans, wombats, and anything else who might be watching this video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make Trove mods. The first thing you're going to want to do is navigate to the Trove Live folder. If you have the Steam version of Trove, the location is going to be the same as mine. If you're using the Glyph version, I will put that up on the screen now. Then you need to create this folder here called QB Export if you don't already have one in your Trove Live folder. This is very important that you spell it exactly like that, all lowercase, no spaces. Then you're going to want to go into your Blueprints folder and create this folder called Override, all lowercase, nothing else. Now, this Blueprints folder is where all of the models for the Trove game are held. However, at this point, our computer can't recognize them, so we're going to need to run a file in order to make all of the other Blueprint files viewable. So you're going to need to go to this link right here. I'll put the below in the link, and you're going to want to right click this download right here and save it. I saved it to my desktop just so that I could easily find it, but then you're going to need to, after you save it to your desktop, drag it into the Trove Live folder. After you move that to your Trove Live folder, you should run that. The default name for me was DevTool Unpack Client, but you may have renamed it. So after you run that, a command prompt window or PowerShell should open up. Just press Y and then enter, and it will begin to unpack all of the files in the Blueprint folder. I've already done this, so it most likely will not work. However, if you haven't done this, a log of everything that it's currently unpacking will show up just like that. Right now it's unpacking the audio for me. So after this is done, you're going to want to close command prompt and move on to the next step. After that process has ended, you should have a new folder in your Trove Live folder called Extracted. Inside Extracted, you're going to find audio and blueprints. And the blueprints folder is what we need to make Trove mods. So all of these files are the models that you see in game. Everything here is what you see in game. So this, I'm assuming, is for either wings or allies, and if you were to go in and edit this, then the butterfly wings would look completely different in game. For this tutorial, I'm going to be slightly modifying the Raptor Berserker head, and an easy way to find the name of the blueprint is just to look it up on Trove Wiki, and then the item ID right down there is what you're just going to need to copy and paste right into that folder. So if I copy that right there, this Raptor Berserker head blueprint is what we need. At this point, it becomes very helpful to have two separate windows because you're going to need two separate windows to drag files back and forth. So right now, this blueprint file can be viewed by the game Trove, but if we want to edit this, we have to convert this into a QB file, which can be read by voxel programs such as Zoxel. So what you're going to want to do is drag this into DevTool Dungeon Blueprint to QB, and then a command prompt window should show up for just a second, and then you will find that file as a QB in QB export that you made earlier. All of this, except for the first file, is completely irrelevant, so you can delete that. What you need to do next is download a voxel editing program. I'm using Zoxel, and I will put a link in the description. So File, Open, and navigate to that same folder where you saved whichever blueprint you're editing. For me, that's Program, Files, Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Trove, Games, Trove, Live, and then QB Export. Now, right now, it appears that there's nothing in this folder because Zoxel is looking for Zoxel files, so make sure that it's looking for QB files or cubicle files. You can open that up, and now this is the Rap Berserker head that is seen in the game. So now you can edit this in any way that you like. What I am going to do is just turn the eyes green, for the time being and make these horns a brighter blue and connect them on the top. Now what I'm using right now is the paint tool, which changes the color of blocks. However, to connect this on the top, I'm going to need to switch to the pencil tool, which adds and deletes blocks. So now I like what I have here, so I'm going to save this file. It will be saved to the same blueprint file that we just edited. Now that we have edited the blueprint file, we need it to once again be readable by Trove. So we are going to drag this into DevDual Tungin to QB to Blueprint to convert the QB file back into a blueprint. Command prompt will open up momentarily, and then you will have a blueprint file in addition to that QB file you had earlier. This is the point where that override folder we created earlier becomes important. You can drag that blueprint file right into the override folder that is in Trove Live and then Blueprints. And now, if you go in there, this edit that we just made will be placed at a higher priority than all of the default blueprints when we open Trove. Now, if I go into Trove, you can clearly see that the edits that I made are definitely working. His eyes are bright green and his horns are not only bright blue, but they are also connected on the top. His head is also backwards, but that's a glitch that I've been having for a lot longer than I've been modding, so I can assure you that none of you will have this issue. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this Trove modding tutorial and have a great day.